Hi friends, I'm walking across the main drag of a little Pennsylvania town, and I have permission today to search the lawn of what was once an old church. Here it was built in the late 1800s, and so today's going to be a little bit different than some of my other videos. There's going to be a lot more traffic sound, but we have the opportunity to explore the lawn. I'm sure we're not the first ones to come along, so you're invited to join me. Let's see if we can get some history to hold right in our hands. I see something that makes me want to take my gloves off. Metal detecting. It's full of adventure, full of planning, for some camaraderie. Ready, Ryan?
Oh yeah.
It's full of elation, frustration, and even inspiration. People do it for all sorts of different reasons. Me, I just want to hold a little history in the hand. A good sounding high tone here after going a few feet. Could be anything this close to the road. Could be trash. Well, there it is. That looks like a Canadian penny. That's interesting, but I think that's what it is. Our first find is a 1953 Canadian penny. Wow. All right. Well, we found our first coin in the lawn of the church. On to the next. Well, I see another coin right there. 1938. I'll get a close-up of this, and we'll see for sure. But wheat penny. Well, I see a nickel. 1980. All right. Another high tone. And it is another nickel. So we have found two nickels after finding two pennies. We will next find 2 dimes followed by 2 quarters. At least that's what I hope. All right, well, now we're up to 12 cents. Rich beyond our wildest dreams. On to the next. All right. Another nickel. Boy, it's nickel rich here. Let's keep on looking. On to the next. My goodness. We are having ourselves a nickel fest. Now that is a war quarter, boys and girls. You've seen how red and tarnished the other nickels are. These are 38% silver, and sure enough, 1944. So this is a war nickel because nickel was required for the war effort, and so they started putting silver back into the nickels just during that time of war. There should be a P right there. Yep, there it is. P. Pretty cool. All right. Wonderful. I don't care if we keep finding nickels. That's great. On to the next. Our first quarter of the day. We like it. May the denominations go ever upward. On to the next. I'm just a little ways from the school, the church. Now, there used to be a school here, so I am going to snoop around here. It was demolished in the 70s, but I'm sure up this hill behind the school, somebody must have dropped something. We found a dime. That's our first dime for the day. We'll take it. And we will say on to the next. All right, penny signal up on the bank behind the school. 1959. Beautiful. That's in great shape. But it was on top of a rock. So I am envisioning a bunch of boys tearing around up and down this steep bank behind the school while the teachers kept yelling up for them to be careful. The outline of a coin. We know that it's a wheat cent. We don't really know what the date is. Let's just guess somewhere in the 40s, shall we? On to the next. Just up to the tree line here. Something big. And look what it is. It is a crotal bell. Now, do you think they tied their horses up behind the church way up here? It is possible. But that is a nifty little bell right there. I don't know that I've seen one in this style with the two angles. So that's really cool. Yeah, wonderful little bell. May or may not have the clapper still inside it. I'd say it does. Wonderful. That will be the third. That'll be the third bell this week. Well, within a week. All right, on to the next. All right, we have a high tone. I think it's a penny signal. But I'm willing to be open to the possibility that it could be an aluminum teaspoon. On to the next. All right, another high tone. And seemed like a deep target, so I dug way down. However, sounds like it's more in the plug. So I see something that makes me want to take my gloves off. I see a silver dime right there. Don't you see it? Now, I see that it's a barber. 1915. Somebody's dime didn't make it to the Sunday school offering. Wow, that's in really good shape. You can even still see Liberty on Lady Liberty's headband. Let's see if we can find out. Gently rub. See if we can get a mint mark here. Right off delicately right down there. Nope. No mint mark, so it was, this one would have been made right here in Pennsylvania, but that's in fabulous shape. Look at that. Ah, that's gorgeous. All right, on to the next. Okay, we have a high tone down deep. Oh, and that's it right there. We found ourselves a little brass buckle. That's kind of cool. That's our first buckle for the day. Yep. Way down deep. This soil is wonderful. I like it. Kind of deep sounding. High tone. We always are hoping for a coin. I see it. It is a quarter and a clad one at that. And we seem to be having a higher concentration of coins right here in the side yard. The front, I don't know. I imagine everybody and their brother has been here. You know what I think? I think I may have missed that in my haste. Wow. Completely missed it. Now, I would not have guessed the base of a light bulb. However, it is metal detecting, and like Forrest Gump's mama used to say, you never know what you're gonna get. In the hole. And that is our signal, a clad dime. We like it, we'll take it, and we'll move on to the next. Have you ever seen so much green? What in the world? Wow. I can't see any details. And I don't know if I will either. It is completely just crusted. We are in the yard of this old schoolhouse. So it is possible that this is an Indian head. It's possible that it's a flying eagle. But I just have no idea. I mean, there is nothing to look at in terms of detail. No idea. Ha! Let me see if I can. I can't believe I'm going to do this, but I'm putting my brass bristle brush on it. Because I don't believe there's anything else that can be done. That's a mystery. It's the first thing I've found that wasn't a bullet shell or an actual fired bullet. So that's interesting. All right, we'll keep on going. All right, we have another kind of a scratchy way down. Another scratchy penny signal. And there it is. It looks like once again. How in the world do you ever tell what that is? I mean, it looks extremely thick. So it could possibly be an Indian head, like one of the thick ones from the first few years. No letters, no shapes. What in the world? All right, your guess is as good as mine. All right, let's keep looking. Maybe we can find another one. Yeah, look how thick that is compared to the real thin one. It makes me think that that was probably an Indian head penny. But, wow. On to the next. Oh, maybe Johnny dropped a quarter. That would be a lot better. On to the next. I don't know what to make of this. I mean, these are mysterious. This is the third one. I may just soak them in olive oil for a long time. See if any of this green stuff will go away. but there's something about this soil right here that just heavily oxidizes them. On to the next. Another wheat scent right here where the others were. So that's nifty. All right. The soil was very loose here. I think it's because I think there's rotted hemlock roots in here. So I think there was a bit of a spill here. Somebody must have taken a tumble. All right, on to the next. Stop recording. Well, I just got home, and it's been a cool day. We searched a couple different sites. We started out at the church, and then we ended up on the way home. We stopped at an old schoolhouse. So let's take a look at what we found today. Got a pretty good haul of coins, all things considered. A couple of quarters, 4 nickels, including this nice 44 war nickel, which is cool. 4 dimes, just a huge pile of pennies. Here is a tragic car wreck. We found our little brass ring and a brass buckle and what possibly was some sort of, I have no idea what that was. I'm thinking they were both jewelry. And we found our little sleigh bell, which is, that's neat. And an aluminum teaspoon measure, a ginormous piece of copper. And then these were the interesting coins of the day. This beautiful 1915 Barber dime. And now that it dawns on me, that's the last year that Barbers were made, because 1916s were Mercuries. So, and then we found these 3 completely eaten up flat pennies in that schoolyard. It doesn't mean they were Indian heads or flying eagles, but my goodness, it's hard to imagine they weren't with that much green on them. So anyhow, thank you for joining us on another hunt here. And I'm going to remind you that if you're not looking for it, you are certainly not going to find it. And I hope you join us next time, right here on History in the Hand.